What's up, guys? David with Miracle Canine out here with Luna and Tilly, our two fighting sisters. They're crushing it. They're doing awesome. So we are going to today take them to the park, show you a little bit on what we've been working on, and let you guys see their progress and where we've gotten with things. You filming?
Yeah, I can't.
All right, guys. So we just spent the last 10 minutes looking for this freaking microphone because Paige dropped it. So you missed all the good footage of us getting started with these two. So let me get this thing clipped on. Tilly. All right, so here's what we're kind of focusing on here. So with fighting dogs, I think most training programs tend to focus on completely the wrong thing. They focus on nothing but like control and obedience training, right? And what winds up happening is you get to a place where the dogs aren't really fighting anymore, but they're not fighting anymore solely because you are not giving them the ability to make a single decision. And what winds up happening is once they go home and 85% of their day is them being free, they revert back to fighting because you never address the problem, right? Additionally, there's too much focus put on just keeping the dogs like as calm as possible around each other. And then again, things go well for a while until inevitably you have a spike of arousal because there's a knock at the door or they get surprised by something or whatever, and then a fight ensues because again, arousal tends to be a really big contributor to fighting. So obviously you gotta focus on obedience training. Obviously you gotta make sure that the dogs are gonna listen to you. But past that, the bulk of your training when it comes to rehabbing fighting dogs should be getting them into as loose and natural of a state of mind. So in this case, we have them literally, not off leash, they're on long lines for safety purposes here right now. But they're free to make their own decisions. And Luna, good job. We're focused on not avoiding the high arousal stimulus, right? So as we're doing this, what we're doing is we're getting them to feel good around each other. We're getting them less concerned about each other altogether. And we're just teaching them how to make appropriate decisions and further kind of proofing this stuff. Now, obviously, as we worked through this process, we started out on muzzle. We intentionally spiked arousal a lot. There were a couple of moments early on in the training process where Luna did try to go after Tilly. We were able to correct it, obviously, and get us moving in the right direction with things. But now that we're starting to trust them more, we could progress to off muzzle and they could interact with each other, and we're seeing them obviously change their overall perception of each other. Luna, Tilly. So this is a lot of what we're focusing on as we're in the last week of their program. I think they have about 5 or 6 days left with us. They're honestly crushing it. I'm really happy with what we're seeing. And I'm just trying to get these dogs just having a good time, making good decisions, and just getting comfortable being around each other. That's it. Luna, Tilly, come on, Luna. Tilly. You know, it's crazy. A lot of people always ask when we post videos like this, they say, well, how did you get them to this place in the first place? And I don't know, I think sometimes, I don't know if people are looking for like a magical answer in particular or something with it, but we preach this stuff all the time. We preach the concept of allowing dogs, putting them in a position where whatever their threshold is, whether it's interacting with each other, right? Putting them in a position where they're going to safely be able to rehearse the behavior that you don't want, making sure we are strategically implementing firm punishment for that unwanted behavior. So in the case of when Luna went after Tilly, I think it happened 2 times. It was a very, very high e-collar correction that was prolonged enough to get the point across to let her know that was very unpleasant to do. And then additionally, obviously making sure we are addressing if there is a particular reason why the behavioral issue is happening, right? So most of the time with dogs that are fighting with each other, in addition to arousal being a big trigger, one or both of the dogs are kind of in an unstable place to begin with. Tilly had a lot of like nervous, frantic energy. She wasn't the most confident dog to begin with. So our training program is focused on building her confidence up so you don't have that like neurotic energy coming from a dog that's gonna make it even more difficult for the other dog to stay successful with it. But this is it, guys. I mean, once you hit that point, you've got to hit a point where you let these dogs make decisions. This is another place where commonly we'll see some dogs get into scuffles with each other. You see Luna's over here munching on some sticks and stuff. Tilly went over to go investigate. That's a place where sometimes we'll see resource guarding issues, and we've got to put them in a position where if it's going to happen, we're ready to address it when it does happen. Now, another key component to the training is making sure that as we're giving them this freedom, if we need to get them to reel it in, we can, obviously. So Luna's very clearly into whatever's going on over there. So what I'm going to do is use this as an opportunity to work a recall. Luna, come. Good job. No, Luna, come. Okay. So obviously in that case, Luna was too distracted by what was going on over there, didn't listen to the recall. We were able to give a correction for it. And then now that I had my opportunity to work through that hurdle, I'm gonna let them do whatever the heck they want to do again. Okay. See that? That was slick. Gonna make a reel of that. This is good. You can see even like Luna is kind of trying to initiate some play here, which is fantastic. Quick side note, equipment here, 100-foot long line right now, guys. I don't know if I've even spoken in depth on any videos about long lines, but like this other long line here, this is a 20-foot long line. Great long line. Don't get me wrong, really good for just practical training use. But when you're trying to do this kind of stuff where you're really trying to simulate like off-leash training, this 100-foot long line, I mean, this is the shit. Look at this. Look at how far away this dog is from me. See this? And watch, I'm gonna keep going. Check this out. Tilly, I'm still going. Look at this. And then check this out. Luna, come. Nice, good job. Good job. Nice. Okay. And you see, right, how good that recall was right there? One correction there. So again, we're kind of testing things. We're letting them make decisions. I'm making sure I can reel them back in if I need to. But past that, obviously, we're letting these dogs just have a good time, and this is what the training allows them to do. And this is what putting them in a position to make the decisions allows them to do. So keep this in mind when you're working with fighting dogs. If you can't get these dogs comfortably interacting with each other, you're skipping a step that you need to be making sure you're working on. But anyways, 100-foot long line, sweet. Neon green. I can make sure I see it, right, no matter what. I slept on these for so long. I used to have a 100-foot long line. Actually, it might have been a 75-foot long line probably 10 years ago, and I used it maybe twice, and it just got tangled over fucking everything. And I hated it, and I threw it away, and I was like, it's way too long, I don't like it. That was a loser move on my part. I like it. It's a great long line. Go get a 100-foot long line. Amazon, it's like 15 bucks. Luna, come on. Luna. Luna. So that's kind of, I don't know. There ain't much more to it. We're just working on just getting these two fucking dogs to get along, you know? Pretty cool, right? Right, Paige? Do we get the Paige seal of approval?
Yeah, very cool.
Y'all saw the first video. These dogs fucking hated each other.